On the line right now, we're joined by Dr. Frieda Birnbaum. She's a mother of 5 children. She's a research psychologist, also a psychoanalyst, and she's an author of What Price Power. It's an in-depth study of the professional woman in a relationship, probably a book that a lot of us women can relate to for sure. She's also the oldest mom in the States to have twins. We'll talk more about that later. Good morning, Frieda.
Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the line. And with Mother's Day coming up, you're going to actually give us an in-depth look into how we can appreciate and how we can bond with our mom this Mother's Day. So what's the secret, Frieda?
Well, the secret is to have the right feelings. Everything else, what it is that you're doing, leads to that path. So if you enjoy some experience that you've always known your mother enjoys, something that you'd like to do together, whether it is just going for a ride or just sitting and talking or baking, depending on the age. Of course, older adults who are not physically at home as much, often there's more of a disconnect, and it's a time to go ahead and listen to your mother, what she is going through. Listen to her needs, because after all, she is a mother to you, but she's also a person that is identifying to the world in a different way.
I think you make some really good points, Dr. Frieda, because we get caught up in it, right? It's so hard to you feel the pressure about Mother's Day coming up, and you're like, I need to get the perfect gift. It's my mom, so it has to be perfect. But you're saying actually take a step back and think of the more memorable moments. You know, mom wants to enjoy her time with you and also, be recognized for a little bit. So taking that time to be the listener for once should actually really be a great thing for mom this Mother's Day.
And for everyone to just relax. The relationship should be going on all year anyway. So to understand each other, if you are someone who can relate and ask questions, your mother would love that, because it would give her an opportunity to be there in a positive, helpful way. Of course, if you're not living at home, that would be even more important. But the most important thing to remember is if you enjoy experiences together, whether it's taking a walk, a scenic ride, baking, whatever that is, the moment of connectedness is what you will walk away with. Gifts are nice, but you open them up and you put them away. When you have events in your life, they last forever, and that's something that when you look back, that's something that you can really hold on to. So there's 2 aspects of this. It's what is it that you want to do for your mother, and as a mother, what is it, in what way do you want to relate to your children? What is it that you need to give them? A mother's behavior, a mother's emotional makeup really is something that affects a child the rest of their lives, because their self-esteem, the way they look at relationships, even their inner happiness is involved with the way the mother looks and identifies life and her relationship with her children.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely are part of our makeup, that's for sure. Is there anything that moms can do? We are a huge family town here in Campbell River, and you mentioned those special moments. So, sometimes it can be hard with everybody in their busy lives to pick out those and pinpoint those special moments that maybe mom is looking for. Is there anything that moms can do to kind of hint at what they're maybe looking for this Mother's Day?
It's very difficult to know if flowers are something that will really hit the spot. It's difficult to know, and the only way to really know is just to ask. If you have a good relationship, you can just say, what is it you'd like to do today? Would you like to eat out? Would you like to have everybody over? I personally do not like to go out. I don't like the fact that they give you a rose and then you sit down. It seems, at some restaurant, it seems very sterile to me.
Yeah.
It's like the coming out for the year or something.
Right, yes.
With all these other mothers and grandmothers around you, and I feel like I'm completely out of it. I prefer to just go to the park for a picnic, have it very casual, and really see everybody have a good time. So where I'm going with this, it's Mother's Day, as you said, shouldn't be so hyped up because it makes people anxious. What really should be hyped up is to remember to have this relationship as a mother with the children, as a child with the mother throughout the year, because when you do look back and you see that, I don't even remember what happened, but I remember I had a good experience. Buying something, you can do that. You can buy something. To buy the right thing, what your mother really wants, is really a hard call, because as a mother, she has so many other things, and to surprise her with something is so, so difficult unless you know that she's been wanting something. And it doesn't have to be material. It could be signing up for a course. It could
Right.
be
Yeah.
getting involved in an organization with other people. It could be, if you're living away, having her come over for the weekend. So to think out of the box can be really fun for
I know a
everyone.
lot of
Yeah.
times moms just love the artwork from kids, and they really do. They would prefer that over a well thought out printed card that you buy in the store any day. I remember my younger brother bought my mom, it was a material gift, but we took him to go shopping for my mom on Mother's Day, and the ring that he picked out was the biggest, giant, fake ruby ring you've ever seen in your life with a big heart on it. And we said, if that's what you want, you can get Mom that ring, knowing full well that really it was not something she would wear every day. We got the clerk to wrap it up, put it in a box, and my brother presented that to my mom. He was so excited to give her that ring. She loved it so much and loved the fact that he loved so much and wanted to give her that gift.
And isn't that an interesting comment, that when the child is so excited and happy, isn't that the best gift that the mother can get anyway, before she
Yeah.
even opens it up?
Yeah.
So as a child, I also, and we all have these memories, I gave my father, I saw a little pin that I found in the house of a crown, and this was for Father's Day, actually. And I remember every year, for the next 2 or 3 years, I'd give him that same stupid little pin, and I'd watch his face, and he'd be so delighted and never said a word, till I finally grew up and realized that this is not going to work anymore. So yes, our parents do give back when we're giving them something, buying them the biggest card or the biggest ring. So their joy is already there. They're looking at us to see if we're having a good time with it, more than what it is they're getting. So that's very important, what you just said, how your brother picked the largest ring, and he was so happy and excited that that transcended into a feeling for your mother to feel good about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You also talk about surprise. Now, let's face it, Dr. Frieda, not everyone, and I know I'm not necessarily one of these women that love surprises. So if somebody's thinking about maybe doing a surprise party, Mother's Day gathering, not everybody's always into it, right?
It's a lot of pressure. Being sociable is a lot of pressure, even if it's for yourself. Getting dressed up for the occasion, and putting yourself out there. And then the person who's doing it also, it's very stressful. Who's coming, who doesn't want to come, what do they like to eat, how long should they stay? All this comes into play. So simplifying it, the best times we have, when we come over and we visit our mothers as adults, when we're just hanging out and we're just talking, when we're helping ourselves. Isn't that the best memory? Or the weather's nice and we're sitting on the back porch and drinking something. This is really something that has no stress related to it. My memories with my parents were always having a picnic, and that's why I do it as well. And my father just taking a few hamburgers out, and who knows what else they had. And when you care about each other, watching them smile and enjoying the experience, and vice versa, and watching them look at us and seeing that we're okay, then everyone's on the same page. When you go to a lot of, effort, then often it takes away from enjoying the moment. And I don't think that that's the kind of day that we really want. Sometimes when there's a graduation, of course when there's a wedding, when there's different events in your life, that's really more appropriate for the occasion. You
I
want to
agree.
celebrate it with lots of people. This is very inclusive. This is very intimate. Mother's Day, as I said, is a feeling more than a big experience and celebration. So it has much more meaning to it, the intimacy of it all.
Absolutely. So now, Dr. Frieda, we
Yeah.
mentioned that you are a mother of 5 children. Now, you had a couple of those children earlier on, and then later in life, you decided to have more children. In fact, you are one of, if not the oldest mom in the States to have twins. Talk a bit about how that experience has been and why you decided to have children later on in life.
All right. Well, the real story is, and this is something that people don't know about, which is that my husband wanted to have another child. We were in the midst of adoption, to have another child for my son, who was like an only child. He was a couple years old at the time, and I had 2 older children, and they were on their own. So at that point in time, he decided, let's try to have it on our own. Well, on my own. I was the one that was going to do all the work. And so I went along with it, not knowing that it would work, but absolutely I was responsible and prepared to do it. So there's a lot of questions out there. Why?
And Dr.
Yes,
Frieda, how old were you at that time?
60.
60 years old.
Mhm.
Was it hard on your body?
Not any different than the prior pregnancies. It was very uneventful. And by the way, when I went into choose my doctor for my pregnancy care, he didn't even believe my age. And when I told, because women are not the same that they used to be. If you look around, you see women in their 50s now. I've always been sort of 10 years ahead of my time. But when I was 50, that was considered older than 50 is today. 10 years from now, 60 is not going to be considered as old as it is today either.
No.
Things are changing quickly, and we're living longer. So the pregnancy was uneventful. The twins are doing extremely well. They're happy kids.
How old are they now?
They're 8 years. They're going to be 8 in a week or 2 weeks. May 22nd, whenever that is.
That's so fantastic.
Yes, so it's Mother's Day and their birthdays in the same month.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
really?
A week later, actually. It's a week later.
So are there any difficulties that you found having children later in life opposed to earlier on?
The only difference is twins rather than having one child. I find twins to be easier. They kill each other sometimes for sure, but they also entertain each other. And as they're getting older, they're getting more different. They look very different. One has brown hair and brown eyes, and one is blonde and blue eyes. So they don't look like twins in their preferences of activities. One is more academically oriented. One is more athletic, and it goes in that direction. But so I think it's the twins more than that. I didn't feel that my age at that time played a factor in the caring of my children. I had some help in the beginning because there were 2 of them, but I didn't have it for many years.
Well, I think you're ahead of the game. I think it's fantastic. I will tell you, Dr. Frieda, I'm actually a twin myself.
Oh.
I have a twin sister. We're fraternal, but we look identical. And,
wow.
The one thing I'll say is growing up, you just feel like it's just a sibling. Just like I have a younger sister and a
yes.
younger brother as well. Growing up, I always just felt like she was a sister just like any of my others. But there's a certain bond that you have. So it's a lifelong friend. And growing up, I realized looking back that it was somebody 100% of the time that you always had there to rely on and depend on, and the best friend you've ever met.
It's
a
blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah. It is. And we also did that. There's video of us, I do believe, of that twin baby talk. It's like their own language, right?
Oh, cool. Yes, they do. They do have that. They have that bonding. When talking about bonding with mother and child, the twins have a bonding with each other that they care more about what the other one thinks of them than anything the parents say or do. We are in the second place for sure in their lives. As you know, that they have this, as you said, this certain language, but also a way of connecting to each other. One won't go to school if the other doesn't go to school. They're just very comfortable having that person next to them. One doesn't get out of the car till the other gets out of the car. Sometimes it's a pain in the neck.
It's a very unique situation.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be a twin.
It is.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to wrap things up here. Dr. Frieda Birnbaum is a mother of 5 kids, as we've been talking about. So she's a research psychologist, psychoanalyst, and also an author of What Price Power. It's an in-depth study of the professional woman in relationships, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And Dr. Frieda, before we let you go, because it is going to be Mother's Day this Sunday, we have to ask you, what's your favorite thing about being a mom?
My favorite thing about being a mother is to seeing my children happy. That's what it's all about. If they're happy, that comes before anything else in my life. Then I'm happy. It's very simple.
Perfect. Dr. Frieda, thanks so much for taking the
My
time.
pleasure.
And happy Mother's Day to you.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Enjoy where you are. It's beautiful, and enjoy a lot of wonderful things to come.
Thanks, Dr. Frieda. It was really great talking to you.
Same here. Take care.
I'm going to keep an eye out for your book. I think I'll definitely be giving it a read for sure. So maybe I'll get in touch with Ryan, but if you do want to send a copy our way, like I said, we could give away a copy on the air.
Sure.
Do you want me to give you – actually, what I can do is take your email down and email it to you, and then that way you just have it in a paper form.
Good.
So what's your email, Dr.
It's Frieda, F-R-I-E-D-A. The last name is Birnbaum, B-I-R-N-B-A-U-M, and it's at hotmail.com.
All right, perfect. I will send you our address, and then you can send a copy or two, and then that way we can get it more exposure, too.
Absolutely. It's on the second edition, by the way. I've had so many shows that it was sold out, so it's going into second edition. I'm happy to say. Yes.
That's really great.
It's doing well. So my pleasure talking to you.
Yeah,
and be well.
Have a great Mother's Day.
Yes, take care.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.